All right, everyone, welcome back. How is it going? We are back with some more Ace Attorney, Miles Edgeworth Investigations. I'm loving this game so far. I really am. It's hold on, I forgot to pull up the chat. I need to do that real quick. Yeah, no, this game has been really good so far. I'm loving it. Like I mentioned at the end of last episode, the despite them removing the courtroom sections, the testimony is, cross-examinations are basically untouched. They just happen during the investigation now, which leads to much more seamless gameplay between the investigation sections and the testimony sections. And the inclusion of the scientific investigation features from Rise from the Ashes are very nice touch. You can definitely tell, as someone pointed out, that this game was originally meant to be an Emma centered game, but at some point they made the decision to change it to be focused on Miles. And I'm very conflicted on that choice, considering Miles Edgeworth and Emma Skye are my two favorite Ace Attorney characters. So I traded one of my favorite characters for my other favorite character. It's the law of equivalent exchange, I suppose. But yeah, what do we have today? Murder on an airplane. Yeah, I don't remember much from the preview, since that was a week ago that we played this last. So yeah, well, let's hop into it. Also, by the way, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy will be back. Well, I say will be back as if it ever started. It never started, but it will start on Sunday, and probably end on Sunday. I don't think I'll be making multiple videos on that game, but we'll see. We shall see. The plan on Sunday is to just do an extremely long stream of that game, and yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun, because I'm very prone to getting angry at games. If you may have seen, if you've seen me play Persona 5 or 4 for that matter. So yeah, tune into that. It's gonna be a very fun stream. It'll probably go on for like 12 fucking hours or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Let's just up over here and yeah, let's head on in. I say continue, but we should really start it all over again so that we see the intro video again. All right, so in Turnabout Visitor, hold on, let me try to remember what happened. Yeah, so we return to our office, find a murder, and so Jacques Portman committed the murder. However, later on, after the murder was committed, a mysterious thief, whose name I have now forgotten, broke into the office, held me at gunpoint, and stole something related to a 10-year-old case. Okay, so I'm guessing that is essentially going to be the through line that will be continued throughout the whole game. So I'm very interested to see how that storyline is going to play out, because the stolen turnabout in Stolen Turnabout was Stolen Turnabout Trials and Tribulations? I think so. Whichever one was that one. The one with Mas Damask, right? That is one of my favorite trials ever in the series. And part of that is because, I've always liked the idea of a thief as opposed to a murderer, and specifically one that's extremely flashy and I don't know. I always really liked that concept. Also, I'm always a sucker for ridiculous costumes in things like this. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how the thief storyline ends up playing out. I think it's got a lot of potential to be really interesting. But yeah, let's get into it. Turnabout Airlines. I guess we'll be seeing Franziska today. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 years ago. Okay. So I'm knocked out. I'm guessing there's both wine and blood throughout this plane. And yeah, this game's score is really good. Yes, everything began high up in the air. 9,000 feet in the air, to be precise. Thank you for flying iFly Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. I'm really liking the premise for this case already. As you might know, if you've been around this channel for a while, I'm a huge fan of the Danganronpa series. Specifically, I'm a fan of enclosed murders. Wait, I don't know what the proper term is for, but the idea that you have a group of people in an enclosed space, one of them is killed, and the others have to figure out who done it. But it's a special, because like, okay, yes, there's, you know, you have normal murder mysteries, but specifically in a like enclosed space like this, what's interesting is that the people who are investigating the murder are all the possible suspects, and you know, there's no procedure, there's no trial. It's just a bunch of people trying to figure out who the murderer is, but they're all distrusting each other because any one of them could be the murderer. And that, I think, leads to easily my favorite setups for these sorts of mystery stories. March 12th, 16:13 a.m. 6:13 a.m. Flight I-309, first floor lounge. Ugh. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? Oh, that was a weird glitch. 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight, though admittedly I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. Oh yeah, forgot about that. What's this? A travel wallet. But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? Ugh, my head. This headache. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later. Or hand it off to an attendant. Ugh. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. Oh, my man's going through the PTSD. What am I doing, hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. Beyond Takia Togami? What are you doing here? It looks just like him. What in the world happened?
Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your... He's dead!
Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! What? No, you have it all wrong. It wasn't me. March 12, 6:41 a.m. Flight 1390, second floor, first class.
Everyone, I am so sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenero. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight.
An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I got a glimpse and it was a murder. What murder? What's going on in this flight?
Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. Until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated.
But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off!
Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit.
Oh no. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor, and I assure you I'm not the killer. Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now listen here. I'm not the killer. I simply found the body.
So you say. However, I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant.
Since when do they teach sleuthing at a flight attendant academy? What the fuck? Oh, is that right?
I know what I saw.
Oh, fuck! I just spilled water everywhere. Hold on. I need to fucking clean this up. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
I wanna just be a free girl with a brutish impulse. Free girl, the silent preacher. Watch out, keep your hands up. Don't make a big deal out of me. Free girl, don't be curious about me. I don't want you to get hurt. Watch out, keep your hands up. Don't make a big deal out of me.
right, now that that's been dealt with, Jesus Christ, let's go ahead and continue.
And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up.
What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about?
We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the power vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation.
Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it?
Yes.
I was wondering if you might give me a chance.
A chance to do what?
A chance to plead my case. A chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. What do we have here? Okay, we already have some stuff. But we'll look at that once we're out of the conversation. Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous?
You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick.
Of course, as you wish.
Good, very well then. Let's get started.
I know for a fact that I didn't kill the man in the elevator. And what I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. Yeah, we're hopping straight into testimony. Okay. What Miss Tenero saw. In that case, before we actually get started, let's review our evidence. Badge, same as always. Travel wallet. Other, discovered in the lounge, picked up off the floor in front of the elevator. Is it mine? So whose is it? And it's bloody, so this might be the evidence she's talking about. Crime scene notes. Type documents recovered inside the elevator. Body found at 6:15 a.m. inside the elevator, so it's been about half an hour since then. Stopped at the first floor lounge. Magazine, type reports, one of my possessions. Details meals, movies, and other surfaces inside. Check under for details. Hold on. So if we look at the crime scene, what do we have here? So money scattered everywhere, which makes me think there maybe was a fight, or that they searched his pockets for something. Clearly the money was left behind, so it's not like this was a robbery. Also, robbing someone on a plane seems weird. This looks like a possible murder weapon with a little bit of blood down on the corner. No, see, the thing with it being a fight is that it looks like he was hit in the back of the head, so I'm not sure about that. But, like, when would you ever turn your back to someone in an elevator, right? Because, like, if you're with another person in the elevator, you probably have your back to the wall. I guess when you're walking out of an elevator, and right, then you'd have your back to someone, but maybe? Let's see. Scene, flight itinerary, all times shown correspond to our departure time zone. Okay, that makes sense. So drinks, meals, and movies. Okay, so this will help us with the time scale. So the body was discovered at 4:15. So at that time, meals and drinks were not being served, and there was no movie playing. So, okay. So that would imply, right, if the person was going to if the person had gone to get food, then the murder must have happened before 3, I think that is. Okay, what do we have? Byakuya Togami The victim was seated in first class like myself, but I don't know his name. Yeah, of course he's in first class. Rhoda Tenero, age 34, gender female. iFly Airlines flight attendant charged with taking care of first class. Okay.
I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator? It was you standing there with blood dripping off the murder weapon. So if you could please cooperate, we'll turn you over as soon as we land.
That's it. That's her evidence.
I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Yeah. Specifically, in front of the elevator, it was you standing there with flesh blood dripping off the murder weapon. It never happened. Also, did I use my, I just realized. Did I just use a fucking gumshoe thumbnail image for a case where Gumshoe isn't gonna show up? Oh, God. Alright, well, let's start by pressing everything. Tell me, what exactly puts pro in professional flight attendant for you?
Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Services like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism. But I'm sure you have already realized that by now, right?
Oh, what? She's twitching! It's a bit hard to appreciate her professionalism when I'm the one under suspicion.
And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable.
Was this game made after Apollo Justice? Because if it is, I might need to look for people's tells when they're lying. Because that was the thing that was introduced in Apollo Justice. I don't know if it gets carried forward to any other games, but it's worth keeping an eye out.
Hold it!
You certainly seem sure of yourself.
Of course, a professional flight attendant can't afford to make mistakes after all.
Perhaps, but you must admit there are few who can look at a murder with a clear mind.
We attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collected. We even calmly serve you coffee, if you so wish, as the plane makes us flash down.
Calmly serve you coffee if you... I prefer tea. I fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency. Fair point, Edgeworth.
Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers. That is the duty of all professional flight attendants.
You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony? Scene I saw in front of the elevator.
Hold it!
Yes. What did you see in front of the elevator?
That's what I was about to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator doors and bathed in the light coming from within.
Let's wait to press on this one, because this will probably progress the thing. Cooperate, please. Turn you over as soon as we can. I'm not the culprit, and yet you would keep these restraints on me.
Mr. Edgeworth, please try to understand what kind of situation you're in right now.
And what exactly is my situation?
I have the backing of the captain to keep you bound in this way. We are within our legal right to restrain anyone who might threaten our captain mid-flight. In essence, you are in the same situation as someone who has been arrested by the police.
So, I am to stay restrained until I can clear up all their doubts. At least I'm close. My mistake shines like a silver lining on a dark rain cloud. And I'm going to capture some of that light with evidence. Okay.
Hold it!
The murder weapon dripping with blood. Really now?
I swear that was the grisly scene I saw before me. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'd be widespread panic by now.
As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time.
Excuse me?
You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder.
Nonsense. Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and am now listening to your defense, all with a smile.
Yeah, and your face keeps twitching. Apparently, you also lie with a smile on your face. Okay, so it's gonna be, This is how it's gonna be. We do actually have to present evidence for this one. I'm not entirely sure if there's like a full-blown contradiction here. Hold on. I'm certain you're the killer. It's seen in front of me. The elevator is you. I mean, it has to be this. This is the only actual concrete, like, falsifiable statement she makes, right? Because this is just, you know, this is no bearing on the actual case. This is just conjecture. This is just leading up to the next sentence. I mean, this is just a factual statement. And this is prescriptive, not descriptive, so... yeah, it has to be this one. There's literally nothing else that can be contradicted. I've seen notes... Does she think the travel wallet is the murder weapon? Whereas if to present the image and show that this is the murder weapon. I'm actually not sure here. Let's go with the travel wallet. Miss Tenero.
What is with the yelling all of a sudden?
Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct?
Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine.
Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. Look at that smirk!
What?
I'd like to direct your attention to this. You know what this is?
It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky.
The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenera.
What? Impossible!
Now then, do you still think I am the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet?
But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did.
As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you'd be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. Yes, I keep forgetting that in this world they just call wine grape juice.
Then...
That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist.
No!
There, that should clear up that pesky accusation.
Wait just a second. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please.
She's trembling, and that tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside, even you can tell from its appearance that it's light.
No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of the wallet for myself.
She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Mr. Nero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me.
All right, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here.
Alright, I guess I'm directing her here. Grape juice stains the outer cover. True, I was the one who dropped it in the juice. However, I didn't do it out of ill intentions. It seems that this passport, it's all that's in here. Republic of Borginia? Isn't that where, is that where Lamaror is supposedly from? As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet as was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you could have just taken it out.
Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it now?
Well, I was wondering whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look?
Why not? I'm rather curious myself. Ah, okay. This is...
Just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Ackby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property.
Okay, so he was a Borginian.
You stole the victim's wallet? Didn't you?
How dare you?
You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you.
That does certainly look incriminating, I'll give you that much.
Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon. But it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is.
No, you're still wrong.
As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive is very simple. You're out to steal Mr. Hicks's money, weren't you?
And there it is! There's the critical mistake. As I pointed out, literally one of the first things that I pointed out when we saw this, the money was left behind at the scene of the crime. Therefore, robbery is not a motive. I mean, it's possible that they might be trying to steal a document from him, maybe. But money? No. Not this time. So, even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see.
You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play?
In investigating crime scenes and then getting people to slip up and fuck themselves over by using logic and discussing small details with them, this very much feels like it's a formula that could work for a Columbo game, doesn't it? That would be fun. That would be very fun.
As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet.
Hold it!
Shouldn't that be proof enough for you that I did not murder the victim?
Not at all.
Oh, and why not?
Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was.
Something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. You think I stole it?
Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, and I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said.
Also, there's the fact that, I'm clearly traveling first class on what would appear to be an extremely expensive aircraft, like large-ass seats, 3 seats worth of space from one seat to another, tables, lamps, a fucking elevator, a full lounge with statues and shit. I'm sorry, but this fucking plane ticket was probably worth thousands and thousands of dollars. Why the fuck would I steal his money?
I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief. Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage.
It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks's wallet. I to believe myself, your motive was very simple. Was it now? I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. I've never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is that one flight.
But that is more than enough of a reason.
How do you figure?
He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear.
I'm sitting in first class too, lady! That's what you're forgetting!
You were to steal Mr. Hicks's money, weren't you?
Yes, you screwed yourself over with that one. You think I was after his money? Where did that cockamamie idea come from?
True, you are also a passenger in first class, but I thought something was off about you in those deeply etched lines on your forehead.
They're not lines. They're perfectly normal. They're part of my natural face.
I don't think I've ever met someone with such terrible countenance on a flight before.
The prosecutor of the Woeful Countenace.
And that's when it hit me. You have the face of someone with money trouble.
She really is making a fool of herself, pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present the piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. Then, Alpha. Oh, hail, knight of the woeful countenance, knight of the woeful countenance. Wherever you go, people will know. I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tenero.
What is it now?
Miss Tenero, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony.
What are you talking about?
It's simply impossible that motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that.
Yeah, I don't know why you think you can go up against not just any prosecutor, the king of prosecutors on this one.
What about this scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not the money?
Also, I just realized I may have pointed this out before, but I'm not sure. When in Trials and Tribulations, you play as Edgeworth and go up against... Oh no, you never do it. Yeah, now I remember, probably why I never pointed it out. During Trials and Tribulations, during Bridge to the Tournament, when we got to play as Edgeworth, I was very excited for the possibility of, like, getting to just play against Gatto as Edgeworth. Specifically to just put him in play, have, you know, Gatto, who is the worst prosecutor to ever lived, be put in place by an actual good prosecutor. And that scene would have been cool because it would have been, you know, a prosecutor on the defense attorney's bench versus a defense attorney on the prosecutor's bench, you know? But alas, that never happened. But yeah, this is just not, this is just not within your skill set. What about the scene would prove that the motive for the murder was not money? The money.
Take that!
I'm gonna direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. Oh, that's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these are the very things the killer was after. Ha! I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with the killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money.
But the wallet!
Yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hick's passport.
If you're really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. I... Forgive me! Please! I'm not gonna do the scream.
Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't a killer.
I don't believe it. Everyone, it's a trick.
Will you all please be quiet? Mr. Nero. Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought that I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you for releasing me.
That's Virginian, right? That's the same characters that were used when people were speaking Borginian in Apollo Justice, right? Also, I'm pretty sure, you know, if I'm remembering this correctly, then yeah, this game was definitely made after Apollo Justice.
What is it now? Mr. Nero, if you could please translate, would be much obliged. It sounds like Virginian.
But possibly an acquaintance of the victim?
I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who...
I said that he is giving the runabout! I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant!
Yes, sir.
I want this person to be under arrest until we arrive at the airport. The fuck are you?
I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for?
What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you!
Please, I would like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land.
You! How dare you try and waste my time?
You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs.
I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I've seen through you. Insolvent! Yes! I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English.
Well, I'd hope that I don't dissolve in water, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name.
I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in the Virginia. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty.
Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now?
Pardon?
When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout.
I have to explain? Unbelievable! I will say it once, and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say.
Yes, and yet you continue to blather on.
I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go onto the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, the murder took place at 6:15.
Also, I think for some reason I thought it took, I don't know why I said 4 earlier. 6. So there's a movie. It took place at 6. Okay, there was a movie going on. I don't know how I got 6 and 4 mixed up.
And what's the significance of that time?
At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6?
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body?
That was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15.
Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say the man Hicks was killed in that 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at the time was this prosecutor, yes?
Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time.
Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice.
I'm still eating. I still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No complaint, I see. Not a single word against this, right?
I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me.
Oh, so you say. But you have, what you say, the evidence?
Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all?
Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you were quite certain of what you saw, enough to give testimony.
Of course! I was looking at the man the whole time! He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time.
Machine?
Yes, what you people call it in English. He was making crazy with that click, click, click.
From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer.
I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself.
A simple cell phone. And a laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of low budget.
I hate that noisy little machine in his hand.
So that's why you killed him, okay.
And not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw.
Mr. Nero,
Yes?
I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene.
What? You want to examine the crime scene?
If you'll grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit.
I don't like the sound of that fox in the duck pen.
Yes, I think that is...
Oh, that was LeBlanc.
I think that is how you say it in English.
It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining deaths. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there is a good chance some evidence will have been destroyed by then.
I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say.
Ha! This should not be approved.
Please, Mr. LeBlanc. In an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please, wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back.
You are not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes?
Of course not.
We will see.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene.
What? Unbelievable!
I am in your debt, Mr. Nero.
However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that?
Of course. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural, as I'm still a suspect in this case.
I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the partner button.
It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. But we also need to talk to the... we should also probably talk to the passengers first, so... Oh. I thought I would have to click something, not that it would just take me there, but whatever. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight, first floor lounge. Here we go. I want to thank you for your help back there, Mr. Nero.
It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed.
I see. I'll bear that in mind.
I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that you reserve the right to stop your investigation if you feel like you are not making progress.
Okay, so that is the context of the health bar in this situation.
And when we do, he asks you to please return to your seat at that time.
So my time runs out at his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you think of where the killer might hide on board?
I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes and first without a staff keycard. And we found no record of a keycard being used at all.
Which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Okay. Now then, let's get started.
But where should we start from?
Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. I see.
If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes.
The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Just like a few minutes. I just need to go to the bathroom real quick. Alright, we are back. Let's continue. No, before I check the crime scene, I do want to go ahead and talk to the passengers first. Oh, shit. No. Oh, looks like we can't actually leave the crime scene. God damn it. So, the lounge leads into the shop, which seems to be closed down right now.
The in-flight shop is just beyond these shutters, but we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid we must leave them closed.
There must still be clues to find somewhere here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant.
This door leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand that it's off-limits to unauthorized personnel.
The room is giving off the scent of woman's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great, however, to me, it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies beyond this door.
Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. Bro was just fantasizing about Phoenix. God damn.
Are you in need of assistance?
Yeah, let's see what you've got for me. Mr. Nero, I'd like to ask you about investigating the lounge.
As long as you have the captain's permission, I can't stop you from looking around.
If you could pass a message along, tell him I'm grateful for his spirit of cooperation.
I will, however, please realize that you are still under suspicion. To be honest, I still have my doubts about you.
Of course, and I take no offense.
You really understand what I'm saying?
Yes, verily.
Do you pinky swear, if you do, on your honor as a professional prosecutor?
I pinky swear I do. On my honor as a professional prosecutor.
Well, I guess that settles it then.
I feel my honor as a man slowly diminishing. Pinky promise is the only true way to ensure 100% compliance.
Even if you show that to me, I still can allow you free reign. I'm sorry, but I must admit that I still have my doubts about you.
Guilty until proven innocent, I see. Yeah, now you get to understand how all the fucking defendants feel. Okay, same thing. Yeah, as of right now, I don't have anything that I can present to her and get anything out of. Stairs. Piano? This grand piano.
This grand piano is the pride of this plane. You can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive.
That's not a piano. It's more like an overgrown music box.
Ah, but the keys to press along with the music, as though there really is someone playing it.
Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, what do we have here? These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area.
Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicion I have about you.
I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. You don't have to be such a bitch about it. God damn, it's just a murder. Happens every day. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky. But these clouds, they tell me nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds.
Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them?
I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation.
The clouds, they tell me nothing. I think Edgeworth might be going a little bit mad. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. Oh, no. So much for professional flight attendants don't even know English. Nope. Edgeworth talking to the sky again. That looks like the statue of a squid man, right? Like, that's the face. These are like the squid tentacles. Why do you have statues of Cthulhu in your fucking plane, you devil worshipper? What or who is this?
This is a bronze statue of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly.
It's a convenient name. It's really a bit of predestination there, I have to say. He's also ugly as shit.
The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other one is of him in his 80s.
Did the man actually age in a span of 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. It's a Rocky! Oh no! Okay, a chair. A toppled over chair, yet another victim of the turbulence.
Ah, no! Look at the grape staining the... grape juice staining the back! I may not look at it, but this chair was extremely valuable.
It was.
Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair.
I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals?
I can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band.
It should have been, it should have been Clavier Gavin's, band.
They added the Pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens.
Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. I only listen to 90s and early 2000s rap. Like Eminem. On second thought, I can already see how confusing that conversation would get. Okay, can I look at the overturned bottle? Glasses and candles thrown to disarray by the turbulence.
It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing. I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to turn off.
I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. That's a very inconvenient phobia to have, my man. Always just pop up at the worst times. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assumed it was spilled during the turbulence.
Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt.
Ah.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I've found some very important evidence. The footprints. What is the important piece of evidence in the scene? The footprints clearly leading to the shop.
What is it?
They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree they are a set of footprints.
So, you think...
Yes, these belong to our killer.
Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe size of everyone in first class.
I don't think that will be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. But we could certainly rule out suspects.
Oh, I see.
Like, smudged or not, You can still get a rough estimate, I'd say. What floors does this elevator service?
Only the first and second, though we can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew's keycard.
So the only floors accessible to passengers are first and second. I see. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Is that your new fucking catchphrase, Edgeworth? I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight.
So Mr. Hicks, he's really dead?
Yes. She's trembling. Although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there.
Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes.
I see she's over the trembling now. Although new symptoms seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks' head. Can this be the cause of death? It appears to have been struck very hard. Okay, yeah, so blunt force trauma to the back of the head. I mean, that's not exactly a conclusive autopsy report, but it's something. Ooh, glass is broken. That's interesting. Because if he was hit in the back of the head, then broken glasses implies that there might have been more of a struggle, maybe? I wonder what was hanging off this lanyard. Something's missing from the picture. Now if I could just put my finger on it. All the money? Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks' wallet at some point. What is that? Okay. Nothing apparently. Okay. Well, let's take a look at this cat. What is this sinister looking figure on the wall here?
Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. iFly.
Edgeworth really pulled out, just saw that thing and was like, really pulled out a dubious little creature getting up to mischief. This is no good. Ugh, the beast is demonic in nature. Very iffy, no good. Very icky, no good.
It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise that we sell in our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition, and it is so popular that we're down to our last one.
You have an in-flight shop?
Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered.
There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? We'll need to examine it. Oh. Same thing. This is our broken. Okay, I think we've got everything that we can. Let's see. Any new evidence? Actually, not picked up any new pieces of evidence, interestingly. We do know about Hicks. Air First Class. Zinc LeBlanc from North European Republic of Bourguignon says he's a wealthy art dealer, time obsessed. Okay. Anything to say, have you? Yes. Did you notice anything?
I was wondering whose footprints those are next to the elevator.
I'd say the killers, wouldn't you say? Even if they aren't, I'm sure they are a vital clue to solving this case.
Oh, maybe there are other clues waiting to be found in other places. Come on now, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go find them together.
A word of advice. No one likes a credit thief, so stop stealing my lines. I was wondering if you noticed anything, Miss Tenero.
Yes, I can't help but notice the sad atmosphere in here.
Yes, it is a rather tragic crime.
I'll say. Robbing the poor man after bludgeoning him to death? Talk about rubbing in the salt. I can't forgive someone who do this to a passenger of mine.
Also, all I'm saying is this is a very much a missed opportunity with Edgeworth wearing his own, his normal prosecutor outfit. Like, they couldn't have put him in like a fucking Hawaiian shirt or something. That would have been so fucking funny. Edgeworth in a fucking Hawaiian shirt solving a murder.
And I promise as a prosecutor to solve this case with logic and deduction. I should go over all the leads I've collected so far one more time. The key to solving this lies in the intersection of my logic and the evidence.
Fair enough. We've got quite a few. Okay, where was the killer? And yeah, this is very much like the Frogwares Sherlock Holmes games. I really want to play some of the newer ones because they've made some more than the two I've played. Hopefully they're as good. Where was the killer? Clues point to where the killer could have been. Upward, Mr. Eyefly. The blood on this is fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects the first floor with the second floor. The victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during his murder? Spilled grape juice, blunt force trauma. Yeah, so let's connect blunt force trauma and the murder weapon. A statue with blood on it laying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured it out.
Yes, what is it?
The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head.
Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title?
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating?
It would appear the figure is our murder weapon.
Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection.
Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. Okay, so now that's actually been added to the evidence box. Let's take a look. Oh my god, he's adorable. It says, I fly airlines. You know, I've seen it occur a lot recently, and it's been bothering me greatly. But why does nobody know how to properly capitalize in space nouns anymore? There's some blood on one of the corners. Could this piggy bank be the murder weapon? Also, it makes sense, like, the mascot itself provides a good, like, grip, and then the base should be nice and heavy for a big whack. Okay, cool. Do you have anything to say about that? No. Not at all. Okay. In that case, the next thing is about figuring out where the killer went, which is obviously the spilled grape juice with the footprints on it. I can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. What? You're wondering where the killer went, and then you see literal fucking footstep? What? You're insane. You're actually insane. Could I get access to the shop, please? Shop is just being the shutters. More clues are on the lounge. Where? We've examined the body, examined the grape juice, we examined the table, we examined the chair, we've examined the piano, examined the magazines, the windows, the statue. Yeah, this is a statue, that's the window, that's the magazine window. liquor cabinet. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Unless there's some more to look at in here, maybe. No, here looking linear. What about his hand? Nothing special there. I mean, yeah, most of the bleeding was likely internal, which is why there's very little actual blood outside. Could have been. There's some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator. Body was found inside the elevator that connects the first floor and the second floor. These glasses were broken. Were they broken during his murder? I mean, I guess the killer could have been on the elevator? I'm not sure if this is what it wants me to do here. It's either this or the elevator and the grape juice. True, there wasn't anyone else on the lounge other than myself or before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. We can prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. Okay. And so then, riding in the elevator and the footprints. There we go. Okay, that makes more sense. I have it. I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact. Someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But could the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? No, that wouldn't make sense, because... Because the grape juice was likely spilled during the turbulence, which means the footprints must have been made around the time the turbulence was taking place, right before I woke up, and by that point he should have already been dead. But if you take a look at the victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Right. Let's try to see if we can start piecing this together. So, Hicks goes into the elevator. Now, LeBlanc didn't actually mention anyone else going into the elevator with him. But I suppose it's possible someone could have come down to the lounge, got in the elevator, went up, Hicks gets on the elevator comes down, then as Hicks is getting ready to leave, he gets whacked on the back of the head. The killer then walks out and heads into the shop for some reason. And this is all happening while the plane is undergoing heavy turbulence. Okay. Yeah, take a look at this. If these footprints do in fact belong to the culprit, then I would say it was very careless to leave them. If I was the killer, I swear that as a professional killer, I'd never leave footprints behind. That's all well and good, but I'm afraid it's of little use in our pursuit of the killer. I feel like I'm still missing a link or two. More logic? No, I don't really have anything. Can we go to the shop now? In-flight shop. Must still be clues here in the lounge, but what? Candles, this array. Toppled over chair. The rocker pals. Pity that a bronze statue knows not one good drink has been spilled on its feet.
This is the statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo Eyefly, who was a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would be thrilled to know so much grape juice was here at his feet.
Is that a hint of hero worship I detect? Can we have another look at the grape juice? Spilled grape juice in a pool at my feet. Unfortunately, the delightful scent of grapes is obscured by the unpleasant smell of the crime scene.
The scent in the air. It's the same smell as the smell in my towers after they come out of my home dryer.
I would have never expected something like that by looking at you. I suppose everyone has something unpleasant about them. No, I think she has a dead body stuffed in there. You wouldn't be related to a certain Scottish bellboy, would you? Is there anything else? That's the window. That's magazines. That's another window. Broken bottles. Flight attendant's room. That is one. Well, I will say this: while being able to actually walk around in the actual crime scene with a proper sprite, as opposed to just clicking on static images, is certainly cool. It also makes checking everything in a room a lot more difficult because you can like fuck it up, I guess. So I don't know what the fuck is that thing. This thing at my feet right now. Like that's I have zero clue what that could be. But I also don't think it's actually related to the murder in any way, so. Can we give another look at the cat now that we know that now that we know for a fact that it's a murder weapon? This is a looking figure. No, literally nothing has changed. Got it? Let's see. I only have one logic thing, so I can't actually connect anything. I don't have any new pieces of evidence. I've already presented all of these. So that's... Yeah, we've already presented all of these to Nero. And we've also asked her about everything. Yeah, we've already asked all the questions and we presented all our evidence. So what do we do now? Hello? Game? Glasses. Money. Oh, is this something new? Oh, here we go. There's no grape juice residue on the soles of his shoes. making it highly unlikely that Mr. Hicks entered this elevator after the turbulence. Okay, that doesn't help me though. Ah, there's something in his pocket. There's something sticking out of his pocket. Okay, that's actually probably pretty important. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Some kind of museum. We can now deduce things. Ooh. Souvenirs picture, perhaps. Some kind of like ancient artifact. Yeah, this definitely seems like some kind of historical museum. And yeah, there's definitely something missing from his lanyard. I guess that's what we need to deduce here. This spot's somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold. Yeah, something was indeed stolen from him. Mr. Hicks' machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Mr. Nero.
Ah, so I guess because it's not here.
Yes, I think you can safely deduce the killer took it. Phone data jotted down in my organizer. Okay. Cool. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. We still have time. Let's keep going. What's going on over there? Oh, here he is.
Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrives late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time!
What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc?
If there's no emergency, please return to your
Oh. If there's no emergency, please return to your seat, sir.
Do not tell me what to do. I need not sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you're innocent yet?
If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now.
What nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken?
Not mistaken. Merely that there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you would please tell me what you saw in detail once more.
Fine, suit yourself.
Yeah, the question is, did he see a second person going into the elevator? Did he not? Does he not have actually a good view of the elevator, maybe? It's a lot of ways this could play out yet.
I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12.
Needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. So, 6 o'clock.
That body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal.
Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at that supposed time of the murder was me.
So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come. Let me see. Hurry. Do I look like a man who was having the time to wait for you?
Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Okay. Let's cross-examine this bitch. I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator. I don't dispute that, he did die in it. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time?
Of course, I saw what was inside.
And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone?
Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man.
This loud outburst is a bit too important to let go.
Hold it!
Was he really alone?
Of course! I will bet even 1 cent!
Cheap ante for a cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play, I'll happily take your 1 cent. Yes, and the only pocket watch point of the 6 and 12. Not disputing that. I assume the pocket watch in that case is the one you keep checking. Is that correct?
Oh, you noticed! It's a very expensive antique, I will have you know! The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand.
It does look very well designed and quite classy.
And we'll have to charge you if you want to touch it.
That's quite alright. Let's continue with your testimony.
What a cheap man you are! Now return the time you wasted back to me. And if you must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock.
Fair enough. But it's returned 15 minutes after that in the lounge. Well, no, the body was discovered in the elevator, which was in the lounge. The body was not in the lounge.
Hold it!
Amateurs. It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15.
And that's when I found the two of them as well.
You see? It all matches my testimony.
One person in the lounge at the time must be the criminal.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I've ever heard of.
No! Your silly opinion is what is mistaken.
Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken.
Well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. I spy a little hole in his words. As you wish, Mr. LeBlanc. I'll now show you proof of my innocence. Alright. Person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. But that's impossible. Right? It's footprints and something being dragged. Is it the footprints? I think it's the footprints.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. Mr. LeBlanc,
What is it?
there is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony.
What do you mean?
Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, the spilled grape juice.
Yes, and would you admit you also spilled it? Spilled it with the blood?
No, it simply spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints.
Footprints!
Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out to the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator, alive.
Ugh!
There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Suka bliat!
Can you please translate for us?
God damn!
No way. That's totally impossible. I guess is what he said.
No way! That is totally impossible! I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes!
If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us.
I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then what does it mean? What about this contradiction? The things I could think of is that either he's wrong about the time and a larger amount of time actually passed than what he thinks. For some reason, maybe the killer somehow altered his watch. What else? Because I was in the lounge, which means the killer couldn't have walked into the elevator from this floor without me knowing. I guess we haven't ruled the possibility of a flight attendant being the culprit, right? So there's also the cargo hold. That is also a way to access the elevator, right? And 15 minutes is actually quite a long time. So, right, because, okay, if we assume Mr. LeBlanc was guarding the door on the top floor, then, hey Owen, how's it going? If LeBlanc was watching the door on the top floor, then the killer could not have gone in that way. I'm watching the door on the first floor, so the killer could not have gone in that way. The only place the killer could have entered the elevator was the cargo hold. But only staff members have access to the cargo hold, which means either the killer stole a keycard from a staff member, or the killer was a staff member, if that theory plans out. I've been doing good. How about you? Mr. LeBlanc, please, just once more. Will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me?
I was very upset when Mr. Hicks paused by my seat. He was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow the man with my eyes when he passed me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, the idea that he somehow got the time wrong is, I don't think possible, because he seems very obsessed with that. So I like, and if he's just constantly checking his watch, like if someone were to somehow tamper with his clock so that it would read the wrong time, he would definitely notice. So it can't be that. Is this thing took a trip to a bunch of national parks on the West Coast? Yeah, I saw on Instagram. Very cool stuff.
And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering, but I swear there was no one else inside. No one!
Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down.
What? Dare you two have an issue with my eyewitness testimony?
No, not at all. Please, forget I said anything.
Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. Just gonna alert, keep up the good shit, man. Yeah, thanks for popping in to say hi. Hopefully we'll get a chance to hang out at some point. Are you gonna be in Miami at any point over the summer? Because I'm only gonna be down there at the end of August, or middle of August, actually. I'm in Miami right now. Okay. Well, if you're still there in the end of August, we might be able to hang out, because... Yeah.
I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat.
I'm gone at the end of July. Damn! I was just in Miami over the fucking weekend. If I knew you were only here until the end of July, I would have hung out with you instead. Because it was only for the weekend, so I didn't have much time, so I only got a chance to hang out with Bryce and Alejandro. Go to the Keys for heading NC and then Ithaca. I set when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. Alright, give me some more info. So, are you still upset now?
I am always upset. The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands.
Should all get in a cult sometime? Yeah, that'd be fun. That's surprisingly easy to believe that about him.
But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me.
No clue what we do? There's always Those Jackbox, other party games could be fun.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to... Why were you so attentive to the time?
Because something unforgivable was happening.
Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier.
I was giving a compliment to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to me my time in money. You understand the point.
Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned on the magazine? Yeah, I guess it was supposed to start at 6, but I mean, you're kind of late for that. It's like it's 7 right now. I talked to pretty much anyone other than Bryce since the start of this year. I mean, I was really fucking busy. I didn't even like stream for like a good 2 months because I just didn't have the time. A summary of the plot and the start time. Interesting.
And we're supposed to show license to love, laugh, maim, and murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I checked my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard.
The magazine shows times using the departure time zone. So then could he have been looking at the wrong time? No, but that doesn't make sense. All the actual content I've done is Ranger Rob. Yeah, I saw that on Instagram, but didn't have a chance to check it out. Got some good shit coming up. Up to it for that at least. Yeah, I'll be sure to check it out. But okay, so the thing is, right? He can't have the time that wrong, right? Because if we look at the itinerary here, right, the movie is only shown at 6. All right, love you. Have a good stream. Yeah, thank you. I'll yeah, we'll definitely figure out some time to hang out at some point. See, okay, so the thing is, if he's here for the movie, he's expecting the movie to start now. But the problem is, right, the only movie is at 6, which means he would need to think that it's 6 now, which means it's roughly an hour after the murder, which means he would have his watch should have noted the time as 5. But then that also implies that, like, there's only a 1 hour time difference between the destination and the departure and the departure cities, which doesn't seem right, because we're assuming, because this is the plane where Edgeworth is returning to his this is the place where Edgeworth is returning. So I guess in the Japanese version of this game, the game takes place in Japan. Where could you come from to be only an hour time difference from Japan but still have a long flight? Am I thinking too much about this? No, it can't be. This has to be important. But the thing is, right? He clearly stated that the time on his watch was 6:14 when the victim went into the elevator. Which means he should have thought the movie started 15 minutes before then, not now. If his time is in fact wrong, then he should have given the wrong time. When he was giving his testimony earlier. Either something's messed up here, or he lied about the time that he saw the victim head into the elevator. Destination time when I came aboard. Okay, let's see how this plays out.
So my watch is not wrong. It's met the schedule, but the movie was still late. Very, very late.
A pocket watch. I'd like to ask a little more about it if that's all right. Ah, the movie, he's not waiting for the movie to start now. He thought the movie was supposed to start earlier. Okay, then yes, he does have the wrong time. But the thing is, again, movie I wanted to see would not start. According to the Fly magazine, the movie should start at 6. So at 6, he tries to see the movie. It doesn't pop up. That's why he keeps checking his watch, and which means he doesn't walk by at 6. He must have walked by after 6 then. What? I mean, I know what I have to present, but let's just keep pressing. So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed in the Sky magazine?
Yes! And I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder.
Mr. Nero, was this movie shown on this slide? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident?
Nonsense! Don't doubt me!
No, now stop pointing at me like that. Odd, how did he miss a movie he was clearly hoping to see? Unless there's 2 6 o'clocks. Yeah, there are. There's this 6, and there's this 6. If the movie was shown at the scheduled time, then that was here. That means that the murder actually took place here. I was looking at this 6 o'clock, but it actually took place at this 6 o'clock. The lack of AM and PM is really bad, I feel like. Also, if this itinerary is for the full flight length, then that means, since it's 7 right now, we have what, 1, 2, 3? 3 more hours until we land, roughly? Okay, things are starting to make a lot more sense now that I'm starting to realize that we're actually on this end of the itinerary. Which, actually, thinking about it, makes sense since the, since we're supposed to be towards the end of the flight, right? And yeah, it's AM, and like nothing happens here between 11 and 4, which would make it, right? There being nothing available between 11 and 4 doesn't make much sense, right? Meals, right? If we're assuming breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't make sense to have a meal at 2 in the morning. 2 in the afternoon, that makes a lot. Okay. So I just. Please, for the love of God, put AM and PM on your fucking times. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. But regardless of that... Okay, so the murder But then, yeah. Wait, but then that implies if the movie was supposed to start at 6 and he sees 6 on his clock and he realizes the movie's not starting, then he waits and then it says 6 on his clock when he sees the guy walking into the elevator. Then either that happened or no. Is the time of the murder, right? Is this time given in departure time or destination time? I think that's the key thing here. Because if this is given in destination time, whereas this is given in departure time, then it makes more sense that the murder actually takes place a few hours after the movie. That actually makes more sense. But I need confirmation on that.
I checked that pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure.
Set to my destination time. I always set that when I board a plane. You're sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes, of course. I am a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch.
I see. That was a very valuable statement you just made.
Flatter me all you want, but you will not get 1 cent out of me.
That's all right. All it requires this piece of testimony. My eyes when he passed me. Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance.
Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing.
And how can you be so sure?
Just because.
I would appreciate it if you would take my life so lightly with a simple just because.
Well, then I was only making a joke. I saw Mr. Hicks all right.
No, but if that's... But wait, okay. So I was working on the assumption that this is departure time, and since he has destination time, there was a mismatch, and so he didn't, like... there was actually a longer amount of time that passed between him seeing the victim walking into the elevator and the murder actually occurring. But that, I don't think that's the case. If his watch and this time are set to the same time, then okay, yeah, he had the wrong time for the movie, but I don't think that matters for his testimony. Into the elevator he was entering. Is it possible that someone was hiding inside?
What? You dare insult me? I have belief in my eyesight. When I look for art to sell, I'm told often I have great sight for the arts.
Yes, but one can miss the forest through the trees. I think the phrase you were looking for was great sense, although that's debatable. But isn't it possible someone was just outside of your line of sight?
You are persistent. I'll tell you I looked clearly. But I swear there was no one inside. No one.
Why would you insist that you're absolutely not mistaken?
Because when I say I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong.
Mr. LeBlanc, if I may, I think beyond misconceptions and mistakes lies the truth.
Funny, that suspiciously mirrors something I told her only a little while ago.
Honestly, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying.
I don't think he's lying either. But I think he might be mistaken about something. Mistaken? Yes, and I'm going to correct his mistaken recollection with evidence. And this professional attendant shall witness the prowess of a professional prosecutor. Yeah. It's this, and then present the Sky magazine. Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony.
I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard.
Now, if your watch had been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination.
Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents.
I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone.
Yeah, so if we're assuming that
clocks were set on board the flight, based on the departure time, then yes, indeed, this is 6:15 a.m. departure time. Which means that yes, there were a large amount of time that passed between LeBlanc seeing the victim walking into the elevator and the victim me actually finding the victim. Okay. So that's what we're going with. Which then in turn means yeah, someone could have just gotten on the elevator some other time. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenero, for the confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now, we are still running on Virginian time. Ah, so the flight did come from Virginia. What? The time difference between Virginia and our destination is 9 hours. That is invaluable evidence. Let's start taking a look here. So, nine-hour time difference means that if it's 6, that would make it what? Yeah. If the murder supposedly takes place at 6 a.m., or no, if he saw the I think his clock clearly must be fast, right? Because that's why he was expecting the movie to show up earlier than it... No. The movie happened, but he wasn't ready for it, which means his clock must be slow. It must be 9 hours late. So if the movie was supposed to start at 6, then he checked 9 hours later, so that's 3, 6, 9. So when he actually thought the movie was happening, it was 3 a.m. So that means he actually saw the victim walk into the elevator, Byakuya Togami, at 3 a.m. Whereas the murder, as the body was discovered at 6:15. That means there's a 3-hour time, yeah, a 3-hour time gap during which anything could have happened. So your testimony is literally completely useless. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule.
what?
Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, It would appear to be running 3 hours fast compared to our flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m.
My 1,000,000 cents!
Well, that should clear up all of the remaining accusations.
So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right?
Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing?
I've got something to say.
And you are?
Yeah, I'm Cammy Neal. I'm a flight attendant.
And what is it you wish to say?
Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember. And what do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know.
What? How can you be so sure of the time?
Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point.
When you stopped to refuel and transfer cargo to the Republic of Zhengfa between 4 and 5 a.m. Your shuttle passenger remained on board at the time. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, the stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer to Zhengfa, correct?
Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks.
And during that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight?
No. Not a single person got off in Zhengfa.
What about the flight crew?
The few who were handling cargo transfer might have temporarily got on or off. Also,
that smile is terrifying.
But eventually, everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane.
So basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m.
Okay. So that's still, though, a 1 hour time frame is still quite a lot, right? So yeah, okay. Alright, then that puts the time of murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m.
Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth?
I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. Ah,
You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer?
Mr. Edgeworth, were you really here in this lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards?
unfortunately, yes.
But then how do we explain the footprints?
Isn't that obvious?
Well, the footprints were when I was passed out.
The man waited for Mr. Hicks here in the lounge, waited to kill him, and then he put the corpse in the elevator. This is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge.
Everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc?
What? Do you have another idea?
I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can be tied to this crime scene to another location, other than the lounge? Badge. Travel wallet. Crime scene notes. Movies, service inside, touch checkpoint for details. Display at the in-flight shop. Yes.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold in the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. Now then, how then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Hey Firewall, how's it going?
Yeah, that's a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all.
Is there no way to win with this man?
If I may.
What is it?
You see, well, it's just that Mr. Edgeworth says.
Oh, and why do you know this so well?
Well, it's just that the piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes.
And when was this?
It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.?
Isn't that just before we hit the patch of turbulence?
That's right.
Wait, but how did you get to the shop without passing through the lounge?
You were in the shop just before the turbulence?
Yes, I was.
Come to think of it, Mr. Nero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door.
Yes, I did.
And what is beyond that door?
That's the flight attendant's room.
And you were on the first floor.
Yes. I had to do something at the shop, at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room.
Did we ever cross paths with her? Are you saying you passed by me at some point?
Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky magazine you were reading at the time. And I suppose you noticed me walking by.
I guess a fair explanation. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was.
Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there.
Why did you go to the shop in the first place?
I went there for a work-related matter.
Work, you say?
Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities.
Then why did you not say anything about that until now, is what I want to know.
In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well.
So we head over there then.
What is it now?
Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're all right. Huh? That's weird.
What is?
Well, I just talked to the captaincy, and he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Nero?
It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't, and yet here you are.
Ew, flight attendant. What are you trying to do? Pull this sheep over us?
The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda.
What is going on here?
But don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way.
Mr. Nero, why would you do such a thing?
Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would follow me, I'll be your guide from now on.
There's something about Mr. Nero that has piqued my curiosity, but right now investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Okay. Oh, yeah, I think I can go for a little bit more. Miss Meal, I bet investigating the in-flight shop. You're no use to me asleep. Wake up.
Huh? What's up?
I need you to come with me so I can search the shop.
Go on ahead without me. I'll catch up with you later.
How has this woman not been fired yet?
What are you wagging?
He thinks he's Phoenix, right? He thinks he's him.
Oh, I am really mad. You had better hurry and bring me some evidence.
If you could wait just a little longer while we look into the shop.
Don't number the birds before they are born.
Don't remember the... What the... I have no idea what he's trying to say. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, perhaps. All I ask of you is your patience and cooperation.
Yeah, don't point at me. Only one man is allowed to shake and waggle his appendages in my direction, okay?
What an asshole. Ah, okay, so shop is open. We are allowed to go. Oh, what time is it? We've been shooting for 3 hours, 15 minutes? Right? No. 2 hours and 16? Really? Was I miscounting? Because it was 7. Because it's what? It's 7 right now, and we started at... Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. I'm being stupid. I'm used to, I'm used to starting streams at, I'm used to starting streams at 4, not at 5, so I usually see 7 and think 3 hours. Oh, okay. That makes, that makes sense. That makes sense. I had a LeBlanc moment right there. Okay, yeah, let's ignore that and let's go ahead and continue, I think, yeah. Yeah, let's go. 8:32 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor, in-flight shop. So this is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here.
You think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Teehee.
Hold on, you can't clean up a potential crime scene.
Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much.
I mustn't rush things here. I must remain cool, calm, and collected. Because this piggy bank was left at the scene of the crime. Okay, new logic. Okay. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Yeah, you are acting mighty suspicious, Mealy. I don't like you, even if you are nice to look at. What are these? What are those?
Oh, those are our company's completely organic line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You wouldn't regret it.
Perhaps that's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then buy.
No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter.
True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they've boarded the plane? I guess if they need more space for all the cool shop items.
Anyway, see that? Just look at all the Mr. iFly heads painted on there. Cute company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you?
It is certainly making something jump inside my stomach.
Huh? I guess there's no need. There's no fooling your fine taste. You look like you really wanted to get one. And I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay?
But I never showed any interest to begin with.
It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? The suitcase is designed by Miss Rhoda.
Miss Nero designed this.
Yes, it was a company-wide contest.
Well, it does have a very sharp design sense.
Sharp? Like stinky sharp cheddar, maybe. I really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so bleh.
Miss Nero designed this, didn't she? That's definitely not what I would have expected. Ah!
You okay?
I'm fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Melee. Letting a suitcase freely go around has got to be a safety violation. Could be hazardous.
Here, I'll put it back.
What does that have to do with anything, though? The flowers seem to have fallen off. Beautiful flowers in a beautiful arrangement. I feel cleansed just by looking at them.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're getting pollen all over.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. There's no Charlie. Inside, this display case is a row of lifesavers and life vests for sale.
We sell a lot of these when there's some kind of accident or something. But some people buy them even when there's nothing going on. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Care to buy one?
It seems that this shop is one shopper away from being sued. Yeah, what the fuck? The Ancapistan Airlines, apparently. Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Mealy is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly.
How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? You know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed.
Why do I envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that? Yeah, probably. All kinds of luxury named brand merchandise for sale in this display case, and they're lined up in just such a manner as to scream "buy me" to any passerbys. Okay, what about the couch? Nope, that's the stuffed toys. I don't want one. Okay. The glass from this display case's door shattered all over the floor, and it looks like there's nothing on display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat. Sir, I've seen one of these before. What? Seems random. There's a wide selection of souvenirs for sale in these display cases.
You know what I'd suggest?
Sorry, but I have no intention of buying souvenirs on this trip.
Okay, how about you buy something from me then, as a present?
I can't think of a single reason why I'd want to buy you anything. Though I might get something for right.
But I've had my eye on that pendant for such a long time.
Try paying some attention to me when I ask you something, then we'll talk. Alright, whatever you have to say.
I don't know much about this shop, but you can still ask me about whatever.
So what do you think about what happened regarding this case?
Oh, I don't know. I guess if you think you're the killer, I guess I think you're the killer though, Mr. Edgeworth.
I can assure you that I'm here in this shop to prove just the opposite.
Yeah, but it was me that got with the permission to look around. You know. So don't forget that, okay?
What? How am I supposed to thank you properly if you insist on falling asleep?
Well, you know what would really show your thanks? You see that item on sale over there.
Sorry, but you're gonna have to make do with my words of appreciation. Alright, we've got a lot of evidence to show you.
Oh, I'd love to have this piece of jewelry. Can I have it?
No, you may not. This is a prosecutor's badge.
Hooey, then why did you show it to me?
I wanted to prove to you that I really am a prosecutor. I guess I'm picking up traits from that vagabond now. And what? And that it's not possible for a prosecutor from me to commit such a crime as... Flashbacks! Flashbacks! Flashbacks to Manfred von Karma!
This case will be perfect!
I see that I'm just wasting my time with Cousin Hare here. Here, wallet.
So what is that? Are you gonna give it to me? Oh, but I'm not supposed to accept any presents. Unless they're really worth something.
Okay. No. Piggy bank.
Miss Rhoda said this piggy bank was in the shop, right? Did you find her a tiny bit suspicious?
I don't think I can say either way yet. There's not enough evidence to convince me that she was lying about anything back there.
Are you sure about that? So what is that? Are you gonna give it to me?
Ah, her little stuffed toy seems to have one of the captain hats, right? Okay. Photo of Mr. Hicks. Missing cell phone. The refuel.
Like I said earlier, I was the one answering people's calls when we were refueling a Zheng Fa, and Mr. Hicks was in a seat at that time.
What time was that again?
He called around 5 a.m. You were at your seat around then too, you know.
I do recall people calling for service around that time. Even if this turns out to be a waste of time, I must stand firm. I just know that there is a vital clue or two awaiting for me in this shop. And then testimony. Okay. So nothing to garner from you, though. Guess next up is logic, then. So broken glass. Plane suitcase costs a roll. In-flight suitcase displays can be hazardous. Okay, but I don't really think I have anything to connect that to, though. Murder weapon. Blood is still on it. Could this be the murder weapon? Tiny captain's hat. I sure have seen one of these before. None of these seem connected. Literally none of these. And yeah, as for the captain's hats, well, the monkeys, or whatever the fuck they're called, have them. Okay, we can't leave the shop. So, there must be something here. Already checked this display case. We checked this one. Check the monkeys. This is display case. Any captain's hat? Can we do any scientific investigation? Those are Mr. iFly. Cammy Meal, an iFly Airlines flight attendant charged with taking care of first class. Suitcases. Alright, we've already looked at the flowers. We've talked with you. We looked at this. We looked at this. We looked at this. We looked at that. Looked at that. So yeah, it has to be logic. But I don't see how most of this even connects unless... I've seen this somewhere before. Is the iFly, is the mascot, is the piggy bank supposed to have the hat as well? Yeah, because everywhere else we see that the mascot has the hat on. So then why doesn't the murder weapon have the hat? Right? The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe that this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean that the killer broke the glass to get at it? Okay, so that confirms that the piggy bank was taken from here.
Really?
Don't tell me you don't know what things go where in this shop.
Well, I don't. Miss Rhoda's in charge of this place, so come on. How should I know anything?
I sense that further inspection of this display case is needed. Okay. No, I keep pressing the wrong fucking button. I won't. Shut up. I don't care about your catchphrase. Is this the same man as the one portrayed by the statues around the elevator?
Yes, that's a paperweight of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. On the bottom shelf, you have the cute one, on the middle shelf, the realistic one, and on the top shelf, that's the floral version.
Floral? Are you sure about that? Let me guess, you just said the first thing that came to your mind, right? Looks like I hit the bullseye. I do actually quite like that one. Ooh, books. iFly Airlines related books line this shelf. The history of iFly Airlines, the future of iFly Airlines, 7 wonders of iFly, fight on iFly Airlines, working names, Go You Airlines, iFlying. The titles make it very clear that they won't be making the top sellers list anytime soon. The glass on this door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. But it's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus the glass broke rather cleanly.
Ah!
What is it?
I touched the glass and I cut my finger. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth, it hurts.
Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own. No glass on the inside of the case, huh? But there is glass on the outside. So the killer didn't break the glass to get the thing. Either the glass was broken from the inside out, which doesn't make much sense, or the glass was broken when the door was open. That could easily be explained by the suitcase, right? So someone opens the display case in order to get the piggy bank, and when the display case is open, turbulence happens, the suitcase rolls this way, smashes into the window, breaking it. That would explain how the window shards could be on the outside of the display case. I don't think there's any other explanation for that. Which then means if the display case was just open normally, then that would imply that if I don't know, is this display case just unlocked or is it locked? Because if it's locked, then that means that the person who opened it must have had the key, which lifts up what's her name? Yeah, Rhoda then shoots up to the top of the Rhoda shoots up to the top of the suspects list, right? Glass on the door's broken. Touch the edge. What about down here? Glass is broken. Okay. That's worthless. Can I try opening the door? For security, there's a lock on this display case. Ms. Meal, if I may ask you about this lock.
The one who's in charge of the shop is Miss Rhoda, so she's got the keys to all the display cases.
I see.
Oh, I bet you want to buy something. You want me to go get the key from her?
No, that's all right. Though it would be important to see if she has it, right? Did that give us anything new? No, it did not. What about logic-wise? Nothing. Which means we have to deduce. But what? Culprit must have shattered display case glass to take it, but the display case glass, but there's no actual glass shards. Which means that the culprit didn't actually break the glass. There's definitely something very unusual about this.
About what?
If the killer had broken the glass to get at the Mr. iFly bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess it'd be like that.
However, there's not a Oh my god, it is storming outside! Sheesh! However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case.
Nope. Nope, there isn't.
Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. The piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and fallen right through the glass.
I guess that's also a possibility? But what the fuck caused this turbulence? Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor.
I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at that time too.
That's nice.
Which leads me to believe that the killer took Mr. iFly here after the turbulence.
Does that make sense, though?
Because
I need to have another look at the crime scene. Because there's footsteps leading out of the elevator, but there's no footsteps going in. And after the turbulence, there should have been wine covering the floor in front of the door, which means if someone had walked into the elevator from the shop after the turbulence, you should be able to see, you know, you should be able to see the wine. You know, there should be wine footsteps going into the elevator, but there aren't. So the killer couldn't have gone into the elevator after the turbulence. It doesn't make sense.
take your power naps on your own time, Miss Mealy, and listen when I'm talking.
What?
But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules this piggy bank out as the murder weapon.
So you mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake?
Yes, at this point, that is a very real possibility.
But then what if, when the killer went to take Mr. iFly, they broke the glass by accident?
The display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but there's one person who could have.
Oh, and who would that be?
Miss Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the key and everything.
Miss Rhoda Nero, huh? Okay. A single piece of glass display case. Believe the killer took Mr. iFly from here after the trailer. That would also mean the piggy bank could not be the murder weapon. Exactly. Alright, what have we got? Broken glass. Yeah, it's definitely turbulence and suitcase, I think. But before that, let's see if, do we have anything new to ask of you? No new evidence, but maybe you have new dialogue. Yep, here we go.
I cut my finger on those bad pieces of glass.
Don't blame the glass for something you did to yourself. Just be more careful.
Same to you. You're the one walking all over broken glass. You sure you're okay?
I'm fine. Any glass I walk on, I crush. Like this.
That's nice. Please be careful around the display case, okay? We don't want you to get hurt.
Compared to the glass around my feet, the inside of the case is nothing to be afraid of. For all, no glass fragments appear to have ended up inside.
And I guess even you can tidy up the case, right?
Perish the thought! Alright, so turbulence and briefcase, I believe, makes the most sense here. Or, well, not a briefcase, but suitcase. Yes, there's definitely something wrong here.
What's with the sudden yelling?
Tell me, Miss Mealy, don't you think there's something strange about the suitcases?
Oh, well, sure. They totally ooze strange, like the color and such.
That's not what I'm talking about. Now pay attention.
You're scaring me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. These suitcases are lined up a bit too prim and proper.
Yes, they look a bit uptight, don't they?
Yeah, which means someone put them back after the turbulence happened.
But I guess they take after their creator. Hee hee.
Again, that's not what I meant, Miss Mealy. Don't you find it unusual that these cases are the only things undisturbed by the turbulence? Never mind, I'd sooner find an answer by inspecting these suitcases myself. On closer inspection, they really are quite hideous.
Hee hee. I wonder how Miss Rhoda would have reacted if she heard what you just said. What's wrong?
She makes a good point. It would be wise of me to watch what I say out loud. What's this? I've spotted something that's not quite right. Yeah, the lack of stoppers on one of them. What's unusual about this suitcase? The lack of stoppers.
Take that!
There's something very peculiar about these wheels.
Huh? As in?
As in, there are no stoppers in place on these. Without stoppers, one would think that turbulence would have sent it flying.
And?
And so, it is very unlikely this suitcase was placed here after we hit the turbulence. Let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Okay. God, it's horrible. I've never seen anything quite like it. $1,200 price tag. Not exactly prized by someone with a conscience, I'd say. This was apparently designed by Miss Tenero herself. The design has a certain je ne sais quoi about it. Yes, perhaps that is the best way to put it. Oh no. Can we open her up? It would appear to be unlocked. Let's take a look at what's inside. A piece of cloth. And it's soaked with blood.
It's blood!
It appears that this suitcase is very strongly tied to the murder after all. Okay, investigation complete. Nice.
So explain this to me. What does this suitcase have to do with the murder?
I believe it's pretty safe to say the killers used this suitcase in some manner, such as to move something perhaps.
But aren't you just talking about the cloth then?
That alone is too small. A larger item would be needed to move what I'm thinking of. A body. The thing I believe the killer used this suitcase to transport is the body, of course.
Take that!
Something that would fit inside the suitcase that is also covered in blood. Sounds like a dead body, doesn't it? Yeah, so then the murder didn't actually take place in the elevator. It could have, in fact, we have no idea where the murder took place. It could have taken place in the shop. It could have taken place in the flight attendant quarters. It could have taken place in the cargo hold.
But
In light of this, I'd say that Mr. Hicks has moved into the elevator from someplace else, which means the murder was committed in an entirely different location.
so you're saying that after moving the body into the elevator, The killer brought the suitcase in here and just left it?
Exactly. What is it?
Nothing. Just that.
Hold on, let's take a look at the new evidence. We have the iFly suitcase. Yeah, can we go ahead and pop that open again? Let's have a look. So, bloody cloth. This cloth was most likely in here with the body. Just what was this suitcase used for? Why would there be blood inside a suitcase like this? Yeah, clearly the cloth didn't do a very good job, I guess. Sold by blood. For there to be this much blood on this piece of cloth, was the victim wrapped in it at some point? Something very familiar about this fabric pattern. Right, it looks like LeBlanc's clothes.
I was thinking about what Miss Rhoda said about coming here for something.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, here you are.
I wanted to give you a bit more time, but I'm afraid I wasn't able to convince the captain. I'm very sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, but the captain feels that he has allowed you ample time. He says that he'd appreciate if you could wrap it up here and return to your seat.
I understand his sentiments, however, if I'm not allowed to complete my investigation, the crime scene may become contaminated by the time we land. If I must stop, then I insist I be allowed to oversee the preservation of the two sites. Under your supervision, of course.
If that's your only condition, then I believe we can accommodate your wishes. I'm here to assist you in any way I can, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like fun. We can camp out and watch over everything together.
I found proof the real crime scene was not in the lounge, and I have enough evidence to prove myself innocent of any wrongdoing. And yet, regarding what Miss Mealy reminded me about Mr. Nero, I can't allow my investigation to end here. The truth must come to light. To be continued. All right, in that case, this might actually be a good time to end it because we're right around the 3-hour mark, which is a good amount of time. So, oh, the plane has landed, and now we're continuing after the landing. Also, is that the guy from Turnabout? Which one was it? Because he's obviously a Steel Samurai fan, but I don't think he was in Turnabout Samurai, right? Regardless, doesn't matter. This is where we're going to be leaving this off. That is taking a while. Yeah. Wow, that was yeah, this is going great. Hey Darius, sorry you got here at a bad time. We're kind of just about to end. Worst time to join? I mean, literally, you could not have picked a worst time. Sorry about that. But I mean, thank you for showing up, anyways. It just seems like a good natural place to to stop, especially since my we're right around the 3-hour mark, so it's, I mean, it just seems like a great opportunity to just leave it off there and then continue next time. So yeah, let me just try to go through the things that we've learned today. So the biggest thing, obviously, is the location of the murder and the time of the murder, right? So our new time frame is, in fact, that the murder was committed sometime between 5 and 6. But more specifically, between 5:40 and 6. Well, 5:40 and 6:15, because De Niro was in the shop at 5:40, and the supposed murder weapon was still in there. That is, of course, assuming that the piggy bank is the murder weapon. It could still be something else. Now, yeah, the suitcase is another big one. Obviously, the murder was carried out somewhere. Then, either during or around the time of the turbulence, the body was moved to the elevator. This also works out with the thing. Yeah, okay. Let's go under the assumption that the piggy bank is not the murder weapon, right? So that means the victim is killed somewhere else with a different weapon sometime before the turbulence. The killer then uses the suitcase to move the victim into the elevator. At that point, the turbulence strikes. Well, either during or before the turbulence, the killer moves the body into the elevator. If the moving happened during the turbulence, then they could have come in through floor 1. However, if the killing happened, if the moving of the body happened before the turbulence, they could not have come in through floor 1 because I was in floor 1 and I would have seen him. So it's possible that there's the fact that the cargo hold is also another possibility. So the body's moved to the elevator, turbulence happens, the wine drops onto the floor, grape juice. The killer then exits the elevator, dragging the now empty suitcase, leaves the tracks in the grape juice, heads into the shop, leaves the suitcase where it was found. Right, that's why the suitcase seems perfectly aligned, despite there having been a lot of turbulence. And then, right, during the turbulence, the killer then notices that the piggy bank has fallen out of the display case as a result of the turbulence. So they have an idea. They grab the piggy bank and head back to the elevator, toss it into the elevator. They don't even actually need to walk into the elevator to do that, right? They can just toss it, which explains why there's no set of tracks leading back into the elevator. Okay, things are starting to make sense now. Although what this really means is we need to go ahead and check the rest of the plane, because we need to figure out where the murder actually took place and what the real murder weapon was. That's gonna be the heart of this case, I believe, right? Because right now, obviously, our 3 suspects are De Niro, because she was at the shop right before the time of the murder. There's the fact that she had easy access to the display case to get the supposed murder weapon, but we don't think that's the murder weapon, so that doesn't make much sense. There's... what's her face? Mealy is also the other suspect. Mostly just because she's been acting extremely sus and almost tried to, maybe tamper with the crime scene. But I don't know. Beyond just her acting sus, we don't actually have any evidence that points to her being the killer. So I'm not sure on that one. And then obviously LeBlanc, who clearly seemed to hate the victim, so that would be motive. And the cloth that was used to wrap the body seems to be the same design that he wears. So that would make sense. So Yeah, I don't know. I think LeBlanc still has to be my biggest suspect, just because, yeah, Tenero being in the shop and having access to the display case is incriminating, but if we're going under the theory that the piggy bank was not the murder weapon, then all rationale for suspecting Tenero is thrown out the window, right? Because Tenero is only a suspect, only a prime suspect, if you work under the assumption that the piggy bank was the murder weapon, because in that case, because we know no one broke into the display case, which means the piggy bank must have been removed by someone who had access, and the only person who did was Rhoda. Also, her being in the shop right before the murder gives her the opportunity to get the weapon. So, right, if we go under the assumption that the piggy bank is the murder weapon, then Rhoda is the prime suspect. But if we're going off of a different theory, there's really nothing pointing to her. Whereas, there's also nothing really pointing towards Mealy. And then, LeBlanc, like, that cloth in that suitcase is easily the number one thing pointing towards him. And, like, regardless of what it turns out the murder weapon is, if the body was wrapped up in that cloth, that is very fucking incriminating. So we'll have to see how it plays out. I'm enjoying this case. I'm really liking it. I'm looking forward to see how it plays out in the future. So yeah, with that said, we're gonna end it here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So on Thursday, we'll be playing Persona 5, right? I guess I should go over what the schedule is going to be now that we're back to doing 2 games. Although this week is going to be a bit special, since we're going to be playing Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy on Sunday. So what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be playing Edgeworth Investigations today, which we just did. I don't know why I'm saying that. You should know since you're here. Then on Thursday, we're going to play Persona 5. And then on Sunday, we're going to play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. That one's going to be a bit of an earlier stream. We'll probably start somewhere around 11 Eastern time, I would have guessed, because I want to give myself plenty of time to get through the game. I want to hopefully finish the game in one stream. That would be ideal. And then that'll basically be the, I guess, like a soft 300 sub special. Not really. It's not like an official, 300 sub special. I still need to do the 200 sub special, which will come eventually. I will do it at some point. Maybe the weekend after. We'll see. But yeah, the standard schedule going forward, I think, is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, Miles Edgeworth Investigations, and then Sundays, we'll be back to being Persona Days, because that's what we always did, right? Persona Sundays was always the way it went. So I think we'll return to that paradigm. And since, right, the thing with Ace Attorney is it's a game with a lot of reading, and there's so much fucking reading. Persona has a lot of reading too, but it also has a lot of things, a lot of time between the reading, right? So playing Miles Edgeworth Investigations is pretty exhausting with the amount of reading and voices I have to do. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it, it's just that it's hard to go on for longer periods of time, although I've certainly been known to do so if, like, a case has really gripped me, like, what is it? It might be the I think it's the second longest stream we've, it's probably the second longest stream we've done, right? It's like if we, live stream, playlist. Because, like, the contenders are obviously the Persona 3 stream, which was 8.5 hours, right? That's when we watched the Persona 3 movies, which was a lot of fun. You should check that out. Did Persona 4 ever have any long streams? 5.5, 6. 5. Yeah, Persona 4 never broke the 6-hour mark. So, not that. I don't have Persona 5 so far, because we had a pretty long stream recently, I think, right? 6.5. And then, yeah, 7 hours on Persona 5 is the longest Persona 5 stream. Yeah, 8:30 is still the longest. Any SMT, maybe? I doubt it. No, not SMT. And there is no way it's a Zero Escape game. No, of course not. Danganronpa also, I think, had a candidate, right? The Danganronpa finale was 8 hours, so no. That's 8 hours 30 is still the longest. I really want to continue Danganronpa 2 at some point, but it'll have to wait a bit longer still. Until Bryce has a, you know... Because as of right now, Bryce is not in a situation where he can really stream. So Danganronpa 2 really has to wait for that. And then as for Ace Attorney... The longest would be... Trials and Tribulations finale was 7 hours, not even close. And then... Ace Attorney anime was 2 streams of 5 hours. What about Apollo Justice? Oh my god! Apollo Justice was 10.5 hours! That is the longest stream we have ever done by a 2-hour margin. Holy shit! Jesus Christ! Yeah, that final case in Apollo Justice was amazing. I fucking love it. The final trial date of that last Apollo Justice case is, I don't think, is good. I think it was a really bad, literally the entire case is like 10 out of 10, 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 and then it just fumbles it at the very end so hard. But literally, up until that final trial, I was engrossed. I played that shit for 10.5 hours. God damn. But yes, if I get really into a case, there will definitely be longer streams. But for the most part, the Ace Attorney streams are really going to be sitting at that 3-hour mark. You know, sometimes a bit shorter, maybe 2, 2.5, sometimes a bit longer, maybe 4 or 5. But it's going to be sitting around that 3-hour mark. Whereas Persona, the streams are usually longer, 5, 6, 7 hours. So as a result, doing 2 Ace Attorney streams a week and 1 Persona stream a week should mean that they're getting basically the same amount of time. And with how long Persona 5 is, we'll definitely be ending investigations before that. Yeah, so I think that's going to be the schedule going forward. Although, get ready, because getting over it with Bennett Foddy could very well become the longest stream on the channel's history. So that one's going to be fun. Do be sure to tune into that, and then Persona on Thursday. And yeah, well, I've been rambling on long enough. I'll see. This is the problem with Ace Attorney, because I'm always just reading shit for like 3 hours. I don't get to actually like talk about anything. I just basically just feels like I'm doing a fucking audiobook. I'm just recording a fucking audiobook, dude. With just occasionally interjections of my mad detective ramblings as I try to figure out what the hell is happening before the game wants me to. So I do definitely have like the urge to just stay here and just talk for like half an hour now. But I won't do that to you. We'll save that for Persona streams when we're like grinding and shit. So yeah. That being said, we'll be leaving this here. Thanks for watching.